think I chose a semester-long program as opposed to like a travel course because I really wanted to kind of have a more longer-term experience and to meet people from that country or just other people kind of in my shoes.
On our study abroads, we focused a lot on homestays, so we did a lot with family-oriented things and, cooking together, playing outside together, dining together, just kind of doing everything in a family setting, which is something you kind of miss here on campus.
It helped me to go outside of my comfort zone and fully immerse myself in a separate culture where I was truly by myself, truly alone, and I had to really figure out for myself a lot of adult things.
I am now much more open to new experiences. I was definitely a very picky eater before leaving, and I still am in some aspects, but one of the things that I decided to do while I was there was just to try anything. I would ask what was in it later because I'm a timid person.
I think it's a real confidence booster when students are able to figure things out, when they're able to, on their own, get from one city to another on the train. They practice the skills of being an independent person, an adventurous person, and they come back to their education at Otterbein and they come back to their lives after college as someone who knows that they can deal with difficult situations successfully.
Learning about another culture firsthand and getting to see different possibilities, different lifestyles. I think it's just so valuable to go out and see things that you didn't know existed before.
While I was there in Ecuador, I worked at a foundation in a more impoverished neighborhood. And I had a group of about 12 students that I worked with them every day. So I got to know these kids really well, and they kind of became almost part of my family. Just seeing all the kids for the last time and having them say goodbye to me and telling me that they don't want me to leave and that they were gonna do really well in school so they could save up all their money so they could see me again. It was really sad to see them go, but I guess it was just really an eye-opening experience to make those sorts of connections with people that are even so much younger than I.
It allowed me to, in a way, step out of my shoes a little bit more and see the world from a different viewpoint. Situations really need to be looked at from all different viewpoints, and your perspective might not always be right.
And you get to realize that the U.S. isn't everything in the world, or Ohio isn't everything in the world, and you really get to place yourself where you belong in the rest of the world. And I think that it puts a lot of their education into place, it puts their future goals into place, and it really just makes them a happier person in the world, a more informed person, and that's the whole goal of liberal arts education.
One of my favorite moments while studying abroad was we went to an old Spanish cathedral, and just stepping foot and seeing the architecture and such detail that they put into the building. Even though there's no lighting, there's no maybe pizzazz that we have nowadays, you could really have a sense of their existence even hundreds of years later. And that was just really touching to me.
One of the main things that was helpful for me was making friends with locals. That's my number one advice for anyone who is studying abroad anywhere, because they know the lay of the land and they know where the best spots are.
I got so many friends from different countries and connections that I'll be able to dive into even later in my life, just friendships that will last for a very long time.
Most of our students still talk with people from Rwanda from many years ago, and certainly from Malawi. They're still emailing their host families and in some cases helping some of the kids in the family continue with their educations. They have become so involved. But it is quite literally life-changing.
Students have many advantages when they travel that they can then translate as they return home for leadership positions, for potential jobs, or even graduate school applications.
The skills that you gain from that, the experiences you gain from that, this is an investment in your future life because you will take those with you wherever you go. So I really encourage students to save money, right, and to make this a priority.
I think a student who has global or study abroad experience brings to the rest of their lives an awareness of the rest of the world, an understanding that the world is a really large place, an ability to solve problems, and it changes their attitude toward what they want to do with their lives. It's such a transformative experience in ways that you can't predict, that you just have to find the resources to go and go as much as you can.
I think that the study abroad office helped me a lot in all of the forms that I needed. And also I had done a lot of my own personal research about the country that I was going to. And I think that's something really important if somebody's thinking about studying abroad, that they look into what they're getting into beforehand.
You definitely want to probably grab somebody who's been on a study abroad before and have a conversation with them, literally ask them the nitty-gritty questions of like, where do I go to do this? Like, do I need a bank account? Like, it'll help you, have that time to create better relationships and fully immerse yourself in that experience.
So I think the number one thing I say to students is do it.
Just do it. Please do it.
And you should just go for it.
Just do it.
You should definitely, if you're considering a study abroad experience, you should definitely just try it, because you don't know what you're capable of until you try it and see what the world is like.
And I just tell everyone to go for it, because I can't imagine my life if I didn't.
It was one of the best decisions that I made in college, for sure.
If you're even thinking about it, just do it. I don't know of any student who has ever regretted going overseas or even to a different culture in the United States.
Do whatever you can to get to other parts of the world. I think everybody who goes abroad for the first time gets bitten by the bug and can't wait to figure out how to go again, and wants to go to different places, wants to go back to the same place, wants to share that experience with their friends, with their family.
I say go for it. There's always going to be some sorts of limitations, money and the like. But at the end of the day, or at the end of your 4 years at Otterbein, that's what you'll remember. A given lecture is gone quickly, and an experience like that will be with them forever.